So this is the first video of the More KCKL channel. Here we will do weekly educational road company content to help you guys improve in the game. I also have, the main channel, KCKL, where I just do daily road company content, whether that be gameplay or educational video in the form of shorts. But this one is kind of long form educational videos to help you guys improve in road company. And I have a shorts channel where I post daily road company shorts. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, what you're here for is obviously the King of the Hill guide. Let's get to it. I'm only doing this because Ranked will actually have King of the Hill next season. And so yeah, that's why I'm doing this. I kind of wanted to make a bit of a guide for you guys. Okay, so let's get to it. Starting out with the first tip, and that is you need 3 different rows with 3 different playstyles, and you need to know how each one works. So for example, if you are a Chak, for example, you need to know that you are a very aggressive rogue, but you can also be used to breach the objective due to the fact that you can basically sponge up a couple of bullets and be able to get in there and trade a couple of kills. With your flashbangs, you'll be able to at least trade 2 kills, otherwise you're doing something wrong with that overheal and flashbangs. Or even someone like a Vi. Many people think that Vi can just be used to hold an objective, considering she has a lot of, Vi poison and is a very deterrent kind of rogue. There is another thing to her. If you have Runway on your team, you can give Vi a briefcase and then be able to get Vi 4 pieces of lethal utility as long as Vi hasn't used any. That right there is absolutely crazy, because if she gets 2 incendiary grenades and 2 Vi poisons, that already is super key to be able to stop the enemies from pushing in, but also to util dump and breach the objective. Leeching rounds, I don't even have to explain, right? You will get 10 extra HP if you down them. That already right there is crazy. As long as, it's a pure 1v1, both are at 100 health. You will get an extra 10 HP. That momentum that you can gain is already absolutely crazy. And so someone like a Vi doesn't necessarily have to be used for just defense. And that's why you need to think outside the box. However, if you are going to use Vi for defense, I would actually recommend Anvil over Vi. And the reason is because when Anvil wasn't banned in a King of a Hill match, he would actually be used 100% of the time. And many people will be wondering why. Well, Anvil can block off sightlines for starters, so not many people will be able to see him if he's hiding behind that shield. It will block off fire, so, no enemy can kind of destroy it, only Glitch can kind of destroy it. He also has APS and C4. C4 good for blocking off certain sightlines. APS obviously for blocking off those pesky nades, bounce nades, Seeker, bow and arrow, anything that is thrown. Anvil will be able to stop it, even throwing melees, which are really going to be really pesky. But he also has tenacity and headstrong. Let me put that into perspective for you. The APS system can already destroy 4, and I mean 4, throwables. So if someone throws a bounce nade, a nade, an incendiary grenade, and an EMP grenade, your ABSs are gone, and then let's say, a Dema ult is coming in, right? And he lands 1 disc on you. Your tenacity will be able to stop that along with your headstrong. That means that Anvil will be able to eat a full nade, a fully upgraded nade. He will be able to eat a fully upgraded nade. C4, not so much. But, they have to be really close to use C4. And on top of that as well, it's a pretty slow fall time, so you'll be able to react. If you can't react, then, try work on it a little bit. But that's the thing. Anvil is super OP for holding an objective. Breaching, he isn't as good, but he's there, C4 can still be used offensively, but I honestly would say that it's better for just blocking off certain areas. But, Anvil is just really good for defense in general, and that is something that needs to be acknowledged. And that's why, someone like a Defender Rogue, you need to start learning, which rogues can you use and which playstyles can you attune yourself to. Okay, so the next tip that I have for you guys is to play for the future hills. Now, this mainly works actually with a lot of competitive players, but also players that are in communications with their teams, so comms. So, for example, if you're a Talon, like you see on screen right now, you're a Talon, and you're holding this, hill. You're holding this hill, you're telling your team, okay, there's about 15 seconds left, we know where the next hill is. they will always put, like, if you're on comms and you're like really serious on what you're doing, which, you know, in rank 2 I'm going to assume you are, you know, one person will be like, okay, I'm moving to the next hill, I'm going to play this next hill, and you, like, you know, the talent, you stay on the hill that we currently are. And so that way, when the hill rotates, you'll be able to have someone that's immediately there, and then at the same time also, you know, gain the maximum amount. Now, if you're in solo queue and you're not really in comms, obviously this doesn't work as much. But what you can do is you can just, you know, mark your teammate, sorry, not mark your teammate, mark the next hill, be like, okay, everyone move there, I'm gonna stay on this hill, and then we play that, like, simply like that. Or what I do, which is, you know, I turn my voice chat all the way down to 0. So it's absolutely a 0. I can't hear them. Well, I can, but it's really, really faint. And then I just put on push to talk, and I'm like, okay, rotate to this hill, right? And I'm giving callouts to my team, but I don't know what they're saying. Which I know seems a bit stupid, but it is something that is used, and I think is really, really good, no matter what. And so, honestly, I think that is another good tip, just learning to rotate to the hill. And it doesn't necessarily have to be within 15 seconds, because you get the information of where the hill is in 15 seconds, right? At the last 15 seconds. You can rotate at 10 seconds, but obviously in those 5 seconds, obviously the enemy team could make a faster play than you, so you just have to be kind of wary of that. Okay, so the last tip that I have for you guys, and this kind of mainly goes to people that are playing it in a 4-stack, and so I think definitely this will work for people that are playing in a 4-stack, and that is you need to start thinking longer range as well. You can't just think that someone has to be on the hill. So someone, yes, obviously has to be on the hill. So you have to have some kind of close quarter rogue. So like, you know, like a Talon or like, you know, a Lancer or something, right? But mainly something like a Fixer or a Phantom still work extremely well for something like this. And like if you're on team comms with your team, you will see that, like, you know, you usually have, like, you know, your close quarter rogues, like a Kestrel, you know, Seeker, all that stuff. They are all close range, and then one rogue who is long range. So someone like a Fixer, Phantom, or even someone along the lines of like a Dallas but running the Devotion or Deadeye. Those are your longer range rogues that still need to be used. Because I don't think people understand that longer range rogues actually work really well within this game mode, just looking a little bit further away. And that is something that I think many people should learn. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching today's weekly upload. You know, I do daily Rogue Company content on my main channel, KCKL. Please go subscribe to that because we're on the road to 150 subscribers. If you go check that out, I'll see you guys all in tomorrow's daily upload. But, you know, if you just, you know, subscribe to this channel, I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.